So we got some big news coming out of Disney. Now, of course, we've talked about the fact that they're looking like it's going to be a bleak year for them for the next 11 to 16 months possibly. So again, there's going to be some changes that are happening when it comes to some of the content that they have to put out. Now, when theaters inevitably open up mid next year, let's say, there's still going to be problems because there's going to be a wave of content that not everybody can see everything. So we just got an update. The one and only Ivan and Magic Camp, which were two films previously slated for theatrical releases, are now going to come to Disney+. Now, these two films, I think, will sort of chart a direction for Disney that's going to look at how much of a impact, let's say, they have among viewers and the sustainability, the viability of Disney Plus for something like this. Now, since this is happening with two, you can argue smaller films, obviously they're not your Black Widow and stuff. Plenty people are making the argument online and on some of the big, trade websites that this is going to be looked at very carefully because, again, Disney's finding themselves having to close back down. They reopen theme parks and they have to close down. Productions are not happening. Shows are being delayed. We have no idea what releases may or may not happen. So Disney will be looking at this very carefully, and so will movie theaters, because everybody else is going to be looking at it as well, because again, this is Disney. We've seen that Disney original content, even if it's not something that you're particularly interested in, always ends up trending rather well. So again, everybody's going to take note of this and look for others to possibly follow, which has been mentioned with some other studios, looking at this as sort of a, if Disney's doing it, maybe we should look at this as an option as well. Now, I'm not saying, something like Tenet is going to come out to HBO Max, because they would straight up lose money. Hell, analysts even are saying that when the movie comes out, it's going to lose money because it has to make $800 million to break even. But the ongoing pandemic has literally changed the face of Hollywood. So looking at it that way and kind of trying to look into the future, you can tell that things are falling into different places now, and they're trying to do things that they wouldn't do before. Now, obviously, I mentioned it before here on the show, we've talked about it in podcasts, there's always that one bomb per year that you get that you consider a write-off, and people joke about that, but that is a thing. You write it off and you more or less gain all the money on it back, as studios are willing to take a few risks like that. You're in a position now where you're not getting any write-offs because everybody's suffering. So you got to find some sort of different way to approach the release, and this is it. So is Disney going to be looking at this as a response to what they do with Black Widow? Some people are speculating that they are, and realistically, it could still happen. We just don't know. If theaters are going to be closed till middle of next year, again, that tells you what you need to know about how they're looking at the situation.